a lot of these influencers, a lot of these well-known content creators are scamming their way to the top. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know y'all missed me. I've been putting out content any and everywhere, so I apologize if the first few videos, they're coming out slow, but they're coming. Okay, they're coming. I want to talk to you a little bit about my content creation journey and some tips and hacks that I've learned in the past few months of doing Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube. I've had a couple of Instagrams. Okay, don't judge me. I had to deactivate a couple. I've had to make new ones. If you are someone who is really serious about their content creation, but your family, friends, and just anyone around you, you're afraid of what they're going to say, of how they're going to react, of you doing content and these things on their internet, go ahead and make a new Instagram. Go ahead and make a new TikTok. Do whatever you got to do to feel comfortable, because I will say, and it is mentioned a lot, that if you're focused on who's watching it from your friends and family members and things like that, you're not going to be successful. It's unfortunate that, most of us, we have judgmental parents or spouses, siblings, whoever it is, friends and family. But if you are serious about wanting to create content and to make money from it, you got to lock in. You have to do the things that is going to be hard for other people to watch, hard for people to look at. And so that's what I did. I made another Instagram, and I didn't put any of my family or friends on there. Now, I did have a couple of my sisters, my siblings. That's fine, because I knew at the end of the day, whatever I posted on the internet, they weren't even studying me. But if you're feeling the weight of what people are going to think, go ahead and just make you a new Instagram, make a new TikTok, whatever social media platform you're trying to grow on. It's not going to hurt you, and ultimately it's going to protect your peace. If you decide down the road that you want to add them or allow them in that space, because if you blow up, they're going to see you anyway, then by all means, you do that. But that's just a little tidbit there. The biggest thing that needs to happen if you're trying to grow on any social media platform is you being consistent. You cannot post once a week and think that is going to help you grow on any of these platforms. You need to be posting, in my personal opinion, once every day. In the long run, you need to see what is going to work, what is not going to work. That's how you're going to get your followers. That's how you're going to get people to come to your profile. If you are not being consistent in posting, then you might as well not start. It is going to be very hard for you to get brand deals and collabs, because a lot of these companies, you can't even post once or twice a week anyway. They want to see individuals that are consistent in their posting and being consistent with their audience. That's how you are going to make money. Now, when it comes to YouTube, if you're deciding to make a YouTube, you don't necessarily need to post daily, because that's just not how the platform is set up. So YouTube, you got a little leeway, but these other platforms, you cannot do the bare minimum. You're going to have to post each day, so you can see what is going to work for your audience, what is not going to work for you, and things of that nature. Secondly, what I want to talk about is what you're going to be doing on your platform. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be telling you that you need to follow a certain niche. And what that is you finding what it is that you love to talk about, what it is that you do in your day-to-day life that comes natural and easy to you. So if that is makeup, if you like to cook, you're going to want to put that on your platforms, your profiles, because this is how you're going to attract people. If you're just starting out and you kind of want to stick to one thing and get a grip on social media in general, just do one thing on your platform. that you're good at, that is going to come second nature to you. You don't want to do content in a particular niche that you're not fond of, that you're not going to have ideas come to you easily, because that's how you're going to experience burnout. That's going to lead to you not posting content. And what I said before is you need to be consistent. You need to be posting daily. So make sure whatever niche or whatever you're going to do on your platform is something that you enjoy doing, that you love, that you're good at, so you can constantly have things to post, you can constantly have things to talk about, and it's something, again, you overall enjoy. Why would you talk about makeup if that's not even something that you want to do? You're into books, so talk about books. Like, don't do something just because you think it's trendy, just because you see other people doing it. If that's not something that's going to work for you, you need to stay in your lane. Do what works for you. Do what's best for you. If you're like me and there's a couple of things I'm good at, try to do one thing first and then branch out, because that's something I'm going to be talking about later in the video. Definitely start out with one thing and see where that takes you. So you've started your new Instagram, new TikTok, whatever it is. You're sticking to one thing. You're posting consistently. Okay. Now you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing on these platforms, that you're tagging companies, you're making sure you're including them in your posts, because that's how brands are going to see you. If you are someone who likes to put outfits together and you enjoy making content of that nature, why aren't you tagging Old Navy or H&M in these posts? If you've bought things from them and you wear their stuff daily, why aren't you tagging them in the caption? In all honesty, brands like to see that you're already invested into their products, that you're already invested into their company. Not saying that you have to do that for everything, because I've noticed that brands, they'll reach out to you. It is not anything that you're doing on your platforms, because they see that you are making content for different companies and different brands. They're going to reach out to you anyway. But if you're not tagging the makeup products that you're using, if you're not tagging the companies and the cookware set that you're constantly using, or the food even, it's going to be a lot harder because they're not noticing you. So make sure that if you're not going to tag companies and brands in every post, that you're doing it consistently. So if one of them sees that you tag them or you're using hashtags, they'll see it. And I've had companies reach out to me in my captions, saying hey, or responding to whatever it is that I'm doing in that video, or they'll DM you. You just never know the possibilities if you're not taking that extra step to be seen. I know the biggest thing that holds people back from doing content creation is not having equipment or the proper lighting. And I want to tell you right now, if that is a reason why you're not posting your content, you're doing yourself a disservice. You do not need to have all this extravagant lighting. You do not need to have all this fancy equipment to put out content. If you notice any content creator who has started out and who has legitimately grown in the last few years, they didn't start out with having the top of the line camera. They didn't start out with having $500 tripods and lighting setups. They use what they have. Use what you have to your advantage. Do not go out and spend all this money on all this equipment. There are so many alternatives and dupes on Amazon, Walmart. Ultimately, it is going to be your personality that wins people over. Does it matter the quality and how brands perceive your videos and things of that nature? Absolutely. But you're just starting out. You're trying to get your feet in the water. And if you're someone that's trying to put your boots on the ground and get started, you do not need to be focused on all these extra things that come with trying to edit and get your videos out there.
It's just unnecessary.
The point of content creation is growing. If you get to a place where you bought that $20 tripod and you're constantly creating content, you're being seen by brands, you're getting brand deals, you're ultimately getting asked what your prices are to make videos, and you decide to get all this fancy equipment, by all means, because in my opinion, you have made it. You can afford to do that, and it's not going to put a ding in your pocket. Your content is top of the line quality. I sort of have some lighting equipment and tripods because I am married to someone who is a stickler about content creation. But if he was not here, I would not have half of these things, and I would still make this video trying to help those who are genuinely wanting to make content creation and make money off of it. And I'm not there yet either. I have not spent a whole bunch of money on tripods and lighting. I am using my iPhone right now to record this video, and it works just fine. It works absolutely fine. It works just the same, if not better. Having your email in your bios, on your profile pages, this is what's going to help you have brands reach out to you. And I've seen this firsthand. If you notice any content creator, all of their bios have their emails in them. This is how I get a lot of brands that reach out to me, because they're emailing me through my bio. You want to make sure that your email is professional. Do not have buki124@gmail.com on there. That is unnecessary. Don't use your personal email. If you need to make a new email so that it is professional and straight to the point, that's what you need to do. I want to stress while I'm talking about all of this, because it may seem easy to do all of these things, post consistently, get your content out there, but there is this little nuance where people don't realize that these things take months. It may take years. I didn't really see any traction or brands really reaching out to me. I've had my Instagram for about 6 or 7 months. I'm just coming to the point where I have people reaching out to me. So keep in mind that this is a marathon, not a race. You can do all these things and not have anybody reaching out to you. Just because you don't have people reaching out to you, you don't have people wanting to pay you for money to do advertisements and things of that nature, that you just automatically quit and you don't need to do anything else. That's not how it works. That's not how anything good in life works. You have to work at it. You have to keep trying. You have to be in this for the long haul. If you're in the mindset that you're just going to give up easily because you don't have that many followers, you don't have people flocking to your page, this ain't for you. I'm going to be completely honest. This is not for you. People will quit their jobs. People have this unrealistic expectation of what social media and content creation is supposed to be. And I was at that place at one point in time of thinking that everything needs to come instantaneously. Everything needs to happen in a moment. I need to have 10K followers by tomorrow. And if not, that is a measure of how well I'm doing at this social media thing. Do not compare yourself to other content creators and influencers. Let me say that again for the people in the back. A lot of these influencers, a lot of these well-known content creators are scamming their way to the top. They're inflating their numbers. They're acting like they get all of these packages and all of these brand deals, when in reality, they have a wool over our eyes. I understand that you can look at other people's Instagrams, other people's TikToks. You see how many followers they have. They're getting brand deals left and right. They're getting PR and free stuff left and right. How much of that is true though? How much of that is them working hard? How much of that is real? I guarantee you a lot of these people are not being honest. And so you need to go into this content creation thing with a grain of salt. I am still operating in the headspace of I'm still gonna have a 9 to 5 until I'm 70, 80 years old, retiring. I have gotten to the place and accepted that maybe my content is not going to resonate with a lot of people. Maybe I'm not gonna be the person that gets all these brand deals and all this money to do these things. And so that's how I operate. I will never get to a space where I feel like I've made it and quit my job and do this full time. because there are so many variables, so many ups and downs. The economy is bad right now. And so to just put your faith into social media content creation is just absolutely crazy to me. Don't do it. Keep your 9 to 5, keep your little coins until you get to a space where you feel comfortable, and it is comfortable for you to go all in with your content. All right, so this is just the first video on content creation. The groundwork to what you need to do. You need to make new social media platforms if you're not comfortable with your family members and people seeing it. You need to pick a niche in what you're going to be doing on those platforms. You need to make sure you're tagging companies and brands with the products and things that you're using. You need to make sure that you have a business email that brands and people can reach out to you, not your personal email, but a business email that is going to be used just solely for social media and content in general. Not spending an arm and a leg on getting tripods and all this fancy lighting because you absolutely do not need it. Editing, I will tell you, and many people will tell you, that is a beast to defeat. And that is one thing that will keep people from creating content, because editing is not something that comes natural. Talking in front of a camera to yourself is not natural. These are two skills that you need to teach yourself quickly. I'm not someone who naturally likes to talk or talk in front of crowds for that matter. So doing this in front of a camera in my room right now is crazy. But I've had to get over the fear of speaking so I can get my point across so y'all can feel what I'm saying. I was not naturally someone who could edit well, and it took me hours when I started editing a few years ago. I'm at the point now where if it's a 60-second video, I could probably edit that in 20 minutes. Because this is something that you have to do like it's muscle memory. You need to be practicing. Practice, because what do they say about practice? Practice makes perfect, right? And they don't say that for no reason. This is a very cliche statement, but it is going to be the downfall between you and getting your content to your audience. If you cannot get on YouTube, find some videos on how to edit, find some videos on how to be natural as possible while speaking to a camera, you're gonna lose out. Me personally, the easiest editing software out there right now on the market is CapCut. Do not let nobody else tell you otherwise. My husband and I go back and forth because he can edit in Adobe. He is really proficient with it and he can knock videos out like that, and he knows the ins and outs. I'm not that person. I want things to be easy and uncomplicated as much as possible. If you're that person, which I know a lot of us are, you need to be using CapCut. Everything in CapCut is pretty much easy to walk through. As a beginner, you want things to be easy as possible for yourself. Don't give yourself a headache trying to learn how to edit in DaVinci Resolve. Why would you do that? Make it easy for yourself. Use CapCut or use the Movie Maker app on your phone. Use what is going to be easy for you at first. Because if you can master CapCut, you can do anything, in my personal opinion. If you can master how to edit in Instagram or TikTok, because those things are easy, you are ahead of the game, okay? You are above most people, because editing to people, it goes over their heads. And if editing is bad, imagine trying to put all these other extra effects and presets and B-roll. Don't do it to yourself. Basic editing, go on YouTube, do what you need to do in order to get your content out there, and to do basic editing. Basic, so you can get to a place where you can add B-roll, you can add all these things and all this fluffery and all that, okay? I don't want to make this video too long, so we're going to do a part 2, and we're going to be talking about PR and scams. You need to look out for those things. In 2025, I have seen all kind of buffoonery, and if you go on TikTok and you just research these things, you will be open to all types of things that's going on. Let me know in the comment section if you're someone who wants to start content creation or you have started your content creation journey. I want to know it all. Please leave it in the comment section. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and I'll see you in the next video.